Ripple's president, Monica Long, recently sat down for an exciting interview on CNBC, and it was packed with key insights about Ripple's future plans and behind-the-scenes moves. But before we jump into the juicy details, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, I hope by the end of this video, you'll hit that subscribe button. Now, let's dive straight into Monica Long's interview and unpack some of the major takeaways. First up, the acquisition of Hidden Road. This one's a game changer. Let's break it down. It's been just 2 weeks since the big announcement, and it's clear how the new prime broker is set to supercharge Ripple's core mission, building financial infrastructure that powers payments, custody, and tokenization for enterprises worldwide. Ripple's payments network didn't happen overnight. Brick by brick, we've built it with a relentless focus on exceptional liquidity management, seamless last mile payouts, and end-to-end control of the flow. With over 60 licenses globally, we're leveraging assets like XRP and RLUSD to redefine what's possible. But this is just the beginning. The real excitement lies ahead as we combine prime brokerage services with post-trade settlement on the XRP ledger and enterprise-grade custody solutions. 2025 is gearing up to be a landmark year for Ripple, but let's talk about what's on everyone's mind, the IPO. The buzz is constant, people speculating how an IPO might shake up XRP's value. But here's the kicker, I don't think Ripple going public is as bullish as people make it out to be. In fact, Ripple's president, Monica Long, just set the record straight. An IPO isn't even on the company's radar right now.
And I have to ask you, maybe not in the current market, but I have to ask you about an IPO at some point. You know, Brad has said to me in the past, when the SEC issues are done, we can start thinking about an IPO maybe. Is an IPO on the cards for Ripple at any point soon?
At this moment, we have a lot of liquidity. So we do have billions of dollars cash on the balance sheet. We're in a really healthy position. We're in an acquisitive position, as you put it. So we're really just focused on growing the business as we are now.
Here's the deal, folks. Ripple is sitting on a mountain of cash, billions to be exact. They're not scrambling for more liquidity. They've got plenty. Right now, their game plan is crystal clear: growth and expansion. They're in full-on acquisition mode, scooping up opportunities left and right to scale as fast as possible. And here's the kicker. They're not even sweating the whole IPO thing. Why? Well, let's talk RLUSD. Yep, you guessed it. It's a massive win for XRP holders and the XRP ecosystem as a whole. Over the years, Ripple has made waves and plenty of cash by selling XRP, which stirred up some controversy. People were skeptical, even bearish at times. People love to say, oh, Ripple's dumping XRP, just cashing in for profits and so on. But let's break this down. When RLUSD first started making waves, I was seriously bullish on it. The hype was real and for good reason. Sure, when it launched and became a revenue stream for Ripple, some people got skeptical, but honestly, that only made me more excited. Think about the potential here. Look at what Tether pulled off. Back in 2024, they reportedly raked in a staggering $13 billion, 0 cents in profits. Yeah, $13 billion, 0 cents. That's wild. And if Ripple can follow a similar trajectory with RLUSD, the possibilities are massive. Imagine the possibilities with Ripple. That's exactly why Ripple launched the RLUSD stablecoin. It's a game changer. Sure, there are other reasons behind it, but let's be real. It's a massive revenue driver for them. Right now, RLUSD is sitting at around 11 AEM among USD stablecoins, though the ranking seems off considering there's already over $340 million, 0 cents in RLUSD out there. By that logic, it should actually be around the 8th spot. But here's the exciting part. By the end of the year, RLUSD has serious potential to climb into the top 5. What would that look like? Over $1 billion, $400 million, 0 cents in circulation. When it comes to stable coins, the potential here is massive, way beyond what we're seeing now. Sure, it's got a long climb ahead to reach Tether's level, but I genuinely believe it's just a matter of time before it gets there. And that's exactly why they're holding off on an IPO right now. They know the kind of cash flow they can generate just from the stablecoin side of things. The game has changed. They don't need to rely on selling XRP anymore, which is incredibly bullish for all of us. But that's not all. With Monica Long at the helm and the market absolutely booming. Big thanks to Rise XRP for sharing this. This clip perfectly highlights what's truly happening in the crypto world right now. Honestly, it's one of the most fascinating takes I've seen so far. I've got some other clips to share too, which we'll dive into shortly. For now, take a look at this.
And I have to ask you, maybe not in the current market, but I have to ask you about an IPO at some point. Brad has said to me in the past, when the SEC issues are done, we can start thinking about an IPO. Maybe is an IPO in the cards for Ripple at any point soon?
At this moment, we have a lot of liquidity. So we do have billions of dollars cash on the balance sheet. We're in a really healthy position. We're in an acquisitive position, as you put it. So we're really just focused on growing the business as we are now.
Ripple is in an incredibly bullish spot right now, and all signs point to massive growth ahead. Stable coins are playing a key role in driving this momentum, but that's just the beginning. The recent acquisitions show they're not just optimistic about crypto, they're gearing up for a major influx of capital into the market in the months ahead. Meanwhile, tokenization is exploding and Ripple has its sights set on what's next: stocks and bonds. Ripple president Monica Long confirmed this exciting direction, hinting at big plans to expand into these traditional markets. This.
Payments is also kind of like a base use case for other types of financial services. Like if you think about security settlement, like it triggers a payment at the end of it. So we thought we should tackle this first, but we always did have our sights set on expanding into tackling other types of financial use cases. So capital markets is kind of like a logical place to expand.
So stocks and
bonds, bonds,
Yeah.
exactly.
Stocks and bonds, massive markets, right? Heartlandia nailed it with their response. Bonds alone represent a $150 trillion 0 cents market, while stocks sit at $129 trillion, $900 billion 0 cents. Together, we're talking over $280 trillion. 0 cents in opportunity here, huge. I've always said the XRP ledger is the perfect match for any tokenized use case, whether it's tokenized assets, on-chain payments, or transactions of any kind. The XRP ledger is built to handle it all. Recently, we hit an exciting milestone: over $100 million, 0 cents in RWA value on the XRP ledger. A solid start with so much more potential ahead. What's even more exciting is Monica Long's response about what's next: securities transactions and tokenization. Naturally, this makes me think of the DTCC, a powerhouse moving almost $4 0 cents quadrillion per year in securities transactions. They're eyeing tokenization and bringing it all on chain. But when we dive into this, it's clear there are key players driving innovation here. Take Securitize and Arcix, for example. Arcix stands out in a big way. Back in August last year, they teamed up with Ripple for something groundbreaking. This partnership focused on tokenization using the XRP ledger. And by November, they were making waves again. In collaboration with Ripple, Arcix launched the first ever tokenized money market fund on the XRP ledger. This was done via Aberdeen, which also utilizes Hedera for tokenization. The result: a massive $3.8 billion 0 cents liquidity fund, setting the stage for greater efficiency and paving the way for institutional adoption of real-world assets, RWAS. When we take a step back and look at the bigger picture, what's happening in the space and what Monica Long has been sharing, it's clear this market is exploding with potential, and it's only getting bigger. They're in full-on growth mode thanks to their strong cash flow and impressive liquidity. Plus, with RLUSD gaining traction and starting to expand, all signs point to an exciting future ahead. If RLUSD keeps gaining traction and climbs into the top 5 stablecoins, it could mean a huge cash boost for Ripple. That extra capital would supercharge their acquisition spree, which, let's be honest, they've been absolutely dominating. Just look at Standard Custody and Hidden Road. They snap those up like pros. And don't forget Medico, along with a few other companies they've had their eye on. Ripple is proving to be a master of growth and expansion, showing no signs of slowing down anytime soon. Their acquisitions have been nothing short of strategic. There's a clear vision behind these moves. Take Standard Custody, the major player behind ROUD. Acquiring them, a no-brainer. Medico was another game changer, setting the stage for Ripple Custody. It's all part of a bigger plan, becoming the ultimate all-in-one platform for institutional and enterprise players. Remember when the Arctic CEO hinted at this? That post was huge. And now it's clear why he's projecting an eye-popping $30 0 cents to $50 trillion 0 cents flowing through the XRP ledger in just 2 years. Back in 2023, he made this bold prediction. Now here we are looking ahead to 2025. Do I think it's going to happen? Honestly, not really. But one thing's clear. He's incredibly bullish. He sees the massive value we're chasing here. $1.40 quadrillion. That's no small ambition. I won't replay the clip since I'm sure most of you are already familiar with it. What it does reinforce, though, is that Ripple is stacking its deck with some serious talent. Their focus is crystal clear: expansion and dominance. Ripple is on a mission to scale bigger and achieve more. But here's an interesting twist. What's good for Ripple isn't always great for XRP. After all, XRP isn't central to every conversation at Ripple HQ. That said, it's in Ripple's best interest to see XRP thrive. Why? Because that escrow stash of XRP they hold is a major war chest, a strategic ace up their sleeve. This shows that Ripple is making major moves, expanding their reach and solidifying their role as a key player in the space. It's clear that XRP is set to play a central role in these exciting new ventures. Take Hidden Road, for example. It's a huge development that proves Ripple's commitment to integrating XRP in meaningful, impactful ways. The potential here is massive, and seeing XRP tapped into such significant opportunities is nothing short of thrilling. This interview does an amazing job shedding light on Ripple and their future plans. It's definitely worth a watch. If you enjoyed this video, show some love, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more free content. Thanks for tuning in, and see you in the next one.